Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan Weinberger here, CEO, co-founder of Morpheus.Network, here with another very exciting video for you guys. Another introduction to another amazing all-star team member. Super excited to introduce you to this guy. First of all, let's say hello to my co-founder, good friend, Noah Mepple, COO of Morpheus.Network. How you doing today, sir?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dan.
Hello. So who am I introducing you today, guys? Super excited to introduce you to our brand new head of products, Justin Rush. Justin, hello, sir. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Great to hear. Justin, excited to introduce you to the community. I just wanted to give you, softball question. What is your background and some of your experiences and accomplishments professionally?
Thank you. And once again, I'm definitely excited to be here. I've been tracking Morpheus.Network now for almost 5 years at this point. So I can jump straight into it. So as Dan already stated, my name is Justin Rush. And once again, I'm absolutely humbled to be here and be able to actually share my background, my experiences, but also later on, I'm sure we'll get to my actual vision for 2024 and beyond. So my journey to Morpheus.Network has absolutely been amazing. I've been afforded the opportunity to have a wide array of different environments, but also across many different industries. But if I was to encapsulate really what I've been doing for the past decade and some change is just transforming supply chains through strategic use of diverse technology and resources, aiming for rapid value, maintaining high quality, but also to have the greatest impact to the largest amount of stakeholders, agnostic of industry or geography. But if I was to go all the way back, this all started 13 years ago when I joined the Marines. I had the pleasure and opportunity to actually share this experience with my brother. So we went to boot camp together and went through our training. But then fast forward about 12 months, I found myself in Okinawa, Japan. So first time being by myself. And this really was a pivotal moment in my life, not just because it also was the first time I was away from my brother, who's kind of like my bedrock for the first 18 years of my life, or being by myself in Japan and exploring, had the opportunity at such a pivotal stage in my life to travel the world, going over 15 countries in 2 years. But if I was to pinpoint that moment in my life, in Okinawa, it really comes down to finding my life's purpose. And that is strategically leveraging technology to optimize supply chains to have the greatest impact. It really drives who I am as a person. And this all stemmed from one very particular leader, Chief Officer Leaper. We call him Granddaddy Wizard, and he was one of the first, but also like one of 2 Marines in 7 years that I was in, who would always ask, "How can we do this quicker? Is there any way to automate this?" And he would actively go out and have me go out actually find any emerging technology or any resources that we can integrate. So this is the first time I was exposed to SATCOM, IoTs, lasers to automate our weight and dimensions before we loaded our amphibious ships. This is when I was first exposed to SQL. And this was also the first time I was exposed to RFID tags. However, they were the size of bricks at the time, and they could use those lithium batteries that only last a week, that were $10 each. However, this was truly the one moment in my life that I can pinpoint where, looking back on since being in the Marines, since that moment, that really, it was a driving factor for who I am today. So after my time in Okinawa, I actually went stateside and continued to hone that passion. Went and got my degree in transportation logistics. And then after about 7 years in the Marines, I knew it was my next time to move on, you could say. And I was told my wife, if I have a child, I'm going to get out of the Marines so I can be the best father I can be, and spend as much time with my family as possible. So that is when I came back home and to the beautiful state of Washington. And I mean, supply chain technology, the first company that comes to mind is Amazon. So that was I was very strong-minded on going to work for Amazon. So then I came back, then actually spent my last 6.5 years with Amazon. So I had the opportunity to once again work across a few different organizations, wildly different. So global product compliance, Amazon Fresh Private Brands, which is our 1P food manufacturing company that is regionalized within the States, but also with Project Kuiper working on the global supply chain for their satellites. So this time period, 6.5 years, has absolutely exposed me to such a wide distribution of industries. So regulatory compliance, food manufacturing, satellites, aerospace, but also supply chain functions. So reverse logistics, forward logistics, all the way to distribution, network management, commodity management, supply chain analytics and technology, but more importantly, scope. So that's global, regional, but also space with Project Kuiper. So this very condensed 6.5 years has truly been a relatively short amount of time, but I have fully capitalized on what that 6.5 years I could learn from having as much broad perspective on the different unique series of lenses that you can view supply chain, and also, and more notably, how you can actually incorporate new emerging supply chain technology and to exploit opportunities across the entire supply chain.
Justin, fantastic. Love hearing that story. Love hearing your background and your professional journey up until this point, which brings me to my next question. What motivated you to come work for Morpheus.Network? Can you share a bit about your long-term career goals and how this position at Morpheus.Network fits in with those career goals?
Fantastic question. So with all that being said, as you probably can tell, my path to Morpheus.Network has definitely not been linear by any means. Anyone who looks at it, and I can fully understand, like from an external viewpoint, an objective viewpoint, to be realistic, that it seems like I was zigzagging across industries, and especially at Amazon, I was moving every few years. But I always knew deep inside, going all the way back to when I was in Okinawa, is once I found what I wanted to spend my life on, that's strategically leveraging technology to optimize supply chains to have the greatest impact to a large amount of people. So with that, I've always had that in mind. So with that being stated, when I joined the Marines, once again, it was for a greater purpose, be in a community, create a safer world for my family. And that's when I discovered that North Star. And then from there, I joined Amazon for a higher purpose, being a community of innovators that shared that same interest, and it also allowed me and afforded me the opportunity to learn the best practices across the corporate world in a wide distribution of industries in the shortest, most condensed time frame possible. However, very similar to my time in the Marines, during my tenure at Amazon, I actually found myself further honing in my mental models, but also refining what my original North Star was. And it began to slowly evolve into not just strategically leveraging technology, but building revolutionary products that leverage all emerging technology that can also be used across all supply chains, enabling systemic and multi-generational value to humanity, agnostic of industry or geography. And to answer your question succinctly, that is really what brought me here. I joined Morpheus.Network for that purpose, because after the first call with the team, it was very, very apparent that each team member epitomizes and shares that same sentiment. And the term that's always, or the phrase used quite commonly, is if you fix the supply chain, you fix the world. And that is the most succinct way of encapsulating my evolved North Star, which once again perfectly aligns to my personal and professional long-term goals and desires. And going back to 2019 is actually when I first heard of Morpheus.Network, when they won the Disruptor Daily Use Case Award in 2019. And up to this point, I just been on the sidelines, being one of their number one cheerleaders for the past 4 years. So, however, my motivation was ultimately reignited when the opportunity arose with this business. And after that first call, actually seeing that they stayed true to those original core values that I began to actually see in 2019. And it goes back to fix the supply chain, you fix the world. And I ultimately was gravitated to Dan and Noam's, both of you, your actual vision to revolutionize global commerce and leverage advanced technologies like blockchain, IoT, and artificial intelligence, and to enable its global reach. So my path here has been definitely blessed. And what's ultimately motivating me to actually come over to Morpheus.Network and how it aligns to my long-term career is really that is you fix the supply chain, you fix the world. And each individual on this team, like it's not just a saying, they actually live it.
Man, Justin, I gotta say, you got me charged up. I'm ready to like jump through my my webcam here. And listen, man, I'm been on the same road. Obviously, I love that you've been sort of a part of the team, even just watching us since 2019, seeing what we've been doing. Just amazing. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was Hanny's that presented at that Disruptor Award that we had won back in 2019, which is pretty amazing. An old community member, so shout out to Hanny's, of course. And Justin, let's take a step back. Let's look. I guess we could say let's take a step back from how we're zeroing in on 2024. All right, can we talk about some of the supply chain trends, what you have your eye on, and as we develop products together, what you're sort of keeping in the back of your mind the entire time based on those trends?
Once again, it's definitely a nice, beautiful softball you're throwing me, because this is something I'm just as you're saying, you're charged up. People say, I've been told many times, I'm very passionate is a very tactful way of saying it. And because I truly do love supply chain. I love supply chain and I love technology. I'm definitely a technonaut, and you combine those two and it's the recipe for a good time. So from there, so I would have to take a step back just very quick. I'm gonna take a quick little side road. So, and this is something I think is absolutely interesting, because if you go back to like 2018 and you ask anyone, because at the time I was a senior supply chain manager at Amazon, and anyone would ask me, so you work on supply chain, so you move packages, like what do you do? And I'm like, it was a buzz. It was a term, but it was always like an afterthought. No one really understood what it meant. And I would say this is from my own personal experience. If you asked any business owner, but I mean, even most supply chain managers that said they were supply chain managers, but they were actually technically a supply chain manager, but they worked on reverse logistics. And if you asked, okay, well, how do you view that we can optimize our supply chain, or what's your vision? Well, vast majority of the time, it's okay, we're going to optimize for just-in-time methodologies, and largely that was it. And there wasn't really a whole lot that went into it. And then, of course, as we all know, between 2019 and 2022, supply chain was pulled forward. And it was it was an afterthought of an afterthought, and now it's front and center, and it's been there. So it's been amazing to see the supply chain, the opportunities within the supply chain for businesses to be really to get the attention it deserves ultimately. So as we look forward to 2024 and beyond, especially with the digital transformation that in emerging technology that's been really once again pulled forward, almost a decade at this point. There's many different like global macro trends that are impacting the industry. However, if I could provide my like top four, for instance, that I would say, one, I definitely foresee a exponential expansion of supply chain digitalization. And what do I mean by that? So we hear digital transformation, and that's been a buzzword. Well, what that means to me is leveraging technology and not just talking about it. And the cold hard reality of it is AI, IoT, and blockchain. It's not just a trend. It's not just buzzwords. Now it's becoming the backbone of modern supply chains. And I foresee this evolution of supply chains to be reframed as supply networks, because you can view it as, okay, it's not a linear chain. Well, it's a connected mesh of different supply components. And what enables that? Well, that is emerging technology, AI, IoT, blockchain, and whatever's going to come in the next few years. So I definitely aim on fully leveraging any and all emerging language models, learning models within our products. But Noam actually said this one little one-liner when we were in Seattle, and it's brilliant. Is the key is not if you should be leveraging emerging technology, artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain. It's honing in the appropriate percentage of that emergent technology coupled with that actual human intervention. And I feel like that is pivotal to actually any company to capitalize on these technologies. So first, exponential expansion of supply chain digital transformation. Second one is a prioritization of supply chain sustainability. And when I hear individuals say supply chain sustainability, what always comes to my mind is green technology. Well, yes, but when I think of supply chain sustainability, it's a true optimization for the end-to-end supply chain, and it's a key driver in it's definitely going to become like a forefront of a key driver in the overall supply chain strategy. So as businesses and consumers demand greener and more ethical practices, it will also lead to reduce costs, to fight inflation. It will be better for the environment, and it's going to once again be only enhanced by the number one, which is leveraging of the supply chain technology. And then number three is enhancing the agility and resiliency of our supply chains through leveraging supply chain analytics and the increased throughput, and then the eventual overlaying of predictability models. And what do I mean by that? So if we look at the events of the more recent years, it was shown, and I remember when COVID first happened, and I was with Amazon Kitchen, which is now underneath Amazon Fresh Fry Brands Food Manufacturing. Very quickly did we understand the importance to remain agile and to maintain our nimbleness when it comes to supply chain. So not only was like the actual COVID food manufacturing piece of it, but also the driver shortages for the trucking industry. So being able to quickly adapt and bounce back from disruptions is now in the forefront of most business owners' minds. However, now there's a new bar. There's a new bar that everyone's trying to achieve. Well, how do you surpass that? And that is having predictability models to actually forecast any issues, risks, constraints, bottlenecks within your end-to-end supply chain. Well, to do that, you need to be leveraging predictability models. To do that, you need to have an increased throughput of data. You need to hone in all of your data communication, your data flows, to actually leverage the technology. So the third one is ultimately being proactive in your agility and resiliency. To do that, you need to focus on the data and then leverage all of the emerging technology, so all the AI, IoT, and blockchain to actually capitalize on that increased supply chain data, increased communication flow. So the fourth one that I don't really hear a whole lot of is actual cybersecurity at the end of the day, because it's already an issue. It's already an issue. And if we're exponentially increasing the amount of data, we're already increasing the amount of IoT devices, we're making this connected supply network. Well, inherently, the risk of cybersecurity is only exponentially increases. So I feel like it's that on the top three, like circling that is prioritizing and really prioritizing, continue to prioritize cybersecurity to mitigate the risk of your end-to-end supply chain. And going forward, and really to kind of a few points that I really want to really emphasize going forward within Morpheus.Network, and how I plan on integrating solutions to our products to really tackle those, like, you can call them the macro trends. It's pretty straightforward. However, the first and foremost is expanding service partnerships. So I do not plan on merely just riding the wave of emergent technology buzzwords, regardless if it's AI, IoT, blockchain. Because back in like 2017, 2018, if you fast forward today, there's a lot of companies that will kind of ride this wave. And I'm sure in the next 1 to 2 years, the ones who are like riding the wave of like artificial intelligence, chat GPT, you're going to start to see them like tail off here in like end of 2024 and 2025. So what I do like so much about Morpheus.Network, what they've been able to do is focus on the technology and the products, not highlighting blockchain all across their website to gain traction. They were focusing on the actual code itself and the products themselves. So I just continue to expand really the foundation that they've laid, and really looking at how can we pull forward cutting edge capabilities and innovative solutions to our customers. So not only can our products have capabilities that are at the forefront of the digital transformation, but our customers can also be there with us. So for me, this is like the core of my 2024 competitive strategy, is enabling a one-stop shop, a modular built, infinitely customizable series of products with the industry-led features, so our customers can instantly receive value from day one. And that goes right into my second priority, which is, once again, just continue at what Morpheus.Network has laid for me. So it's definitely made my life a little bit easier, is continue to emphasize user experience in all designs. So that's enabling our products to be intuitive. That inherently will increase customer adoption and usage. Because as we all know, it doesn't matter how good your technology is. It's only as good as the ability for your customers to use it. So our focus will, once again, be developing the industry-leading user-centric design. And that will allow us to create interfaces that are intuitive and easy to navigate. So inherently, once again, our customers can fully leverage all of the potential benefits of our solutions without the steep learning curve. And the last item that once again, I feel like I'm broken record at this point, is I'm glad that Morpheus.Network has really laid the foundation, is I want to continue to increase and hone in our cybersecurity and ensure that is the number one top priority, is protecting the fidelity of our platform. So as we continue to scale up, I want to continue working on ensuring that our clients' data and operations really, at the end of the day, is ironclad, airtight. There's no questions asked. It should never be a doubt in anyone's mind that once they actually start using our products, that the last thing they should ever have to worry about is any security issues within our products that we're launching. Hopefully I answered all your questions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Great answers. And I love the trends that you touched upon, Justin: digitization and sustainability and agility, resiliency, and cybersecurity, of course. And another thing that you spoke quite a bit about is the phrase, if you fix supply chain, you fix the world. And that's something we truly, truly believe. A strong supply chain really underpins strong economies. You can't have a strong economy today without strong supply chain. And a strong supply chain really impacts absolutely everything. It impacts jobs, access to products. It has a huge impact on the environment. So it's part of our core belief, part of our core mission. And I think that's part of the reason why we have such a dedicated, hardworking team, because they understand the huge potential impact we have on local and global economies. So thank you for mentioning that. And Justin, I also wanted to mention that when we were interviewing, and we had quite a lot of people interviewing for this position, we loved your education, your skills, your experience at places like Amazon and even the military. We love that stuff. But to be honest, there were a lot of other people with equally impressive education, skills, and experience. But I think one of the reasons why you truly, truly stood out beyond our great conversations is your personality, the focus you have, the dedication, the persistence. I think is truly amazing, and your positive attitude. So that's one thing we love about you. You have a very big job ahead of you, but we have full confidence that you're the right guy for the job. And just to share a bit more background to that job, or what you'll be working on, is, as you know, your title is head of products. And Morpheus.Network has quite an aggressive roadmap for 2024. We plan to release some very exciting new products that we have in the pipeline. And I was recently had the pleasure to go down to Seattle to do a in-person workshop with Justin, which was fantastic. And it was a bit of a fire hose for Justin. I threw a lot of information at him, but it was a great workshop. And so Justin's role as head of products is to really take ownership and leadership of the planning and the launching of these new products and ensuring success. So Justin, we're extremely happy and thankful to have you as part of the team. I think 2024 is going to be a fantastic year for the company. And I just wanted to thank you for joining us and being on this journey with us. And before we wrap up, Dan, any closing comments that you wanted to share?
Yeah, just a couple quick comments. Justin, obviously, I love your passion when it comes to supply chain, and you're speaking my language, obviously, when it comes to fixing supply chain, fixing the world, and that's something we've been doing for a long time. So, it's the thing about new technologies is that's what's going to fix the supply chain. It's not going to fix itself, right? How are we going to move towards the future? Is by implementing these new techs. And you hit it like right on the head. And I think as a team, we always mention our middleware and how easy it is to implement our technology and get value from day one. Well, you don't have to rip out your current ERP, or users continue using the current systems, and we pull the data into our system and create a ton of automation with that. And that's great for onboarding, again, clients to use the system, but also think about the future. We're future-proofing them as well. As we develop new modules, new technologies, they come out, whether it's new blockchains or implement a new ERP, we can actually turn the switch within our middleware to that new ERP and get to move it on that day as well. So it's not just about fixing supply chain now, it's fixing supply chain for the future as well. And Justin, so happy to have you on the team as well. And so those are my last closing comments. Thank you, Noam, for asking.
Yeah, and I think there's one more comment that we have to share. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I hope everyone has a truly fantastic holiday season. I hope everyone has a chance to spend time with their friends and family and loved ones. And so Dan, happy holidays, happy New Year. Same to you, Justin, and to everyone in the community, happy holidays and happy New Year.